That's weird. Double check this. And there we go. Looking good. Okay. All right, so it looks like we're live now. It looks like at least one notification went out, so we'll see what happens.
I got a notification. Traveler.
I think I'm going to have to turn the game volume down because I don't want it to overflow anybody talking, because that's not a good idea. What did this do? Open volume mixer device. Let's try this. So I'm doing the Pilgrim's Bounty right now.
Thanksgiving thing.
Yeah, you can. It's a good way to get your cooking up. So, and all the characters that I'm leveling, you know, it gives them XP, all these quests. So. I definitely get tired of hearing people cooking their food, though. You know, it makes that like you rub your hands together and it goes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it sounds like a crackling fire, but it's not really the way food it sounds when you're making food. Well, I hope it's not the way it sounds when you're making food all the time, especially not pumpkin pie. Gosh.
Could you imagine if your cooking sounded like that?
Oh, Lord, no. Let's try.
I think my whole house would have to be on fire for it to sound like that.
Probably. Let's try that. See if that helps the sound. Two more. I gotta make two more. Do I not have the stuff? Spice bread. Oh, great. Now where am I going? Oh, and I gotta cook the turkey. Oh, let's see. We gotta have the whole meal, right?
Yeah. Is this the one where they have the table where you get to throw food at each other?
Yes, this is that event.
I used to do this one when I was first starting out.
I actually think it was the first event I ever participated in when I first started playing. As a matter of fact, I know it was because I remember my friend. She was max level, and I was like very teeny tiny. I mean, I was literally like level. I had just made it to level 20, and I can remember her saying, "Oh, let's go up here, and we'll protect you while you go up to sit at the tables, right?" Uh-huh. Do you know how many times I died, and then I had to try to run and hide under the bridge at Thunder Bluff because I was an alliance, right?
Oh man, that had to be.
Oh my God, it was so crazy, and I finally was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go do my own thing. Let's see.
how do you even get out of there if you're opposite?
Uh,
Don't they kill you all the way out?
they used to, but now that, um, well, I mean, they can flag themselves war mode, but most of the time I think you zone because getting flagged PvP because you enter unkind territory is different than um, entering territory, than flagging war mode. So even though, yes, you're technically in a city, and yes, you can flag war mode off and on, yeah, I believe it zones you every time. So I don't think that they can kill you like that like they used to. Unless it's another person who's not in war mode that gets flagged. They would be able to kill you, but nobody else would. At least that's my
And
understanding of how it works.
so you're not just open season.
No, you shouldn't be.
Well met. Maybe it's your time to shine upon thee.
So they started the recruit a friend again, and there's brand new rewards, really awesome rewards. But in order to get all of the rewards, you'll have to pay for a year, basically what amounts to a year subscription, right? 12 months at some point, spanned over however, whatever. But,
Ooh.
well, and the funny thing is, um, so I used to, you had to make a brand new account, right? And so I actually, by doing that to get the other rewards that were out there, although I guess now the pets are gone for now, so I can't get the pets, but I do have all the mounts. Um, but these new rewards are like explorer type mounts, and there's a tabard, and there's a transmog set, and I think there's some kind of recipe for a weapon enchant. And the thing that's really neat about it this time is you don't have to make a new account, right? You can reactivate an account that has been dormant for at least 2 years and do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's what I did. I reactivated an old account. Um, so that's really awesome. I like the fact that they did that. So kudos to Blizzard on that one.
I have an old Alley account.
Oh, well, then you could certainly do that.
That's very tempting.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think I have the website pulled up for the rewards and the pictures, and I'll put it in Discord. Um, oh, lordy, lordy. Where's the history? Copy. Oh my goodness. I put it in the World of Warcraft channel. Let's see.
All right.
We're gonna switch tunes. Oh. Come on, loading screen. I do not like the loading screens. They take too long. They used to go so fast. Let's see. I need to pull in the event. Gotta do the quests first. Are you playing the game too?
No, I'm doing genealogy stuff.
Oh, you're still addicted. My sister's very addicted
I
to
got a
that.
break.
Oh, well, that's always good when you break the dam open. You gotta keep going with it.
Yeah, it looks like my family may come from Tipperary, and the ones that thought it was Cork maybe.
Let's see. Make sure that make sure our little my best friend Nightbot's here. Cause well, I can't do anything without Nightbot. So it was funny because
Okay, I want the camel. I want the camel.
yes, right? So it also tells you let me it also tells you um like when you get what, right? So you get Riki after a month, which is the little monkey pet, right? And then 2 months you get game time. So what they did, it looks like they alternated a prize and then game time, and then prize and then game time, right? So you get a pet, and then you get game time, and then you get a mount, and then you get a title, and then you get game time, and then you get the enchant, and then you get a tabard, and then you get game time, and then you get a mount, and then you get. I don't know if the Renowned Explorer's rucksack is like a tabard or what. I didn't see what that was. And then game time, and then you get the transmog set at 12 months. And then if your friend continues to play, or your account that you did to yourself, for every month after that, you earn game time. So,
Okay, according to Wowhead, this is a cloak. The
oh, okay,
description's a cloak.
okay. That makes sense. Yes, that makes sense. It's a cloak. Okay. Oh, I bet it looks like a backpack. I bet that's what it is because it looks like that guy's got a backpack on. I bet it's a cloak that looks like a backpack.
I think the description on Wowhead's wrong because it says bustling backpack, so that has to be a backpack.
No, 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 no. It could be a cloak because here's the thing that is shaped like a backpack because it's a back piece. So basically, it is a cloak because they only
Oh yeah,
at this
okay.
at this point the only thing that they call back pieces are cloaks.
Yeah.
Whoever's out there, can you guys hear
I kind of like the
Mrs. Roger
look.
Rabbit?
I think it's kind of a cool look.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And of course they did it on a blood mage, so I'm all in.
Oh, of course. Why do I feel like this is not? Let's see. Something on my arm. I hope it wasn't a gnat. Let's see. Where is the viewer count? I don't understand why it's there like that. Let's lock it. Oh, I see what happened. Oh, don't do this to me. I think my game is locking up. Yep, it just did. I hate it when that happens.
Of course, my husband and I are sitting here talking about it now. Yeah, that's not bad. It's a good deal. That's like 25% off.
Yeah, it's a good excuse to try to get your spouses to play too. I know that guys seem to try to get their wives or girlfriends to start playing when that stuff's going on because they get a benefit anyway. So
My husband won't do it.
my husband has his own account. He doesn't play it very much. As a matter of fact, we're paying for it right now, and I probably should shut it off. I actually need to ask him about it because I don't think he's played it in a while.
Yeah, my husband just doesn't get into it. He just not his.
He does for a while, my husband, but then like I don't know. He plays uh Di- like Diablo and actually he plays a lot of Hearthstone when he's goofing around with Blizzard products. Hearthstone, he plays a lot. He really likes the when they do the brawl, they have the brawl in there. He likes to do those.
I never got into that one. I'm the WoW player.
Yeah, I actually. Uh-oh, I gotta travel to the past. Ooh, take me to the past. I can't do Pilgrim's Bounty without going to the past. Uh, I uh, yes, I play World of Warcraft a ton, but I've gone through spells where I finish a heroic raid and I'm like all maxed out on stuff, and I'm just like, you know what, I've been raiding so much and we finally got through. I'm gonna take a little break and I'll go and play Diablo, a season of Diablo, or just enough to go get my set and get enough gear to be doing some heavier riffs. And I have Overwatch. I'm just not very good at it, so I probably piss off the people I end up queued up with. So I don't really play it too often, unless I have a very short amount of time, and I just like, oh, I'll play a game of this. But I can play Hearthstone on the go, and it looks like it plays really good on my new phone. They had problems with it on tablets and the phone playing very well, but it seems like the newer processor on my new phone probably is helping it play better. Have you been following the Mark Sievers trial?
I was. I haven't the last couple of days because I've had a migraine, but
Yeah, unfortunately, because I'm at work while I'm trying to listen to it, and then live, and then it's like they, go for a lunch break or whatever, and so I start listening to something else, and then I come back from lunch, and I've already missed another hour. Like they started like when I went to lunch, so I feel like it's kind of almost like a repeat. At least this first portion of it. I'm re-listening to Curtis's testimony, and I feel like it's seriously just a carbon copy of the last one so far. Other than the fact that it seems like the jurors keep having incidences happen.
yeah, I heard that part today. That woman was so I felt so bad for her today. She
Maria,
was
I told
crying, and I was
you
just
to
like,
go
oh,
home
so
when we
sad.
got
It's not your
off.
fault. Somebody talked to you.
Can you hear Mrs. Roger Rabbit? I need to know if when Mrs. Roger Rabbit's talking, if she's coming through. Because Streamlabs is acting like she is, but nobody's answering me. Yeah, the first thing was the notebook thing. Seriously?
How did they get the notebook? Nobody answered that for me.
Okay, so what happened with the notebook is they recycle the notebooks. And okay, that's fine, Maria. But can you hear Mrs. Roger Rabbit talking? And so what happened was he said the judge said sometimes for whatever reason, instead of starting at the beginning of the notebook to write down their notes, people will start at the very back of the notebook, even if it's brand new. And evidently that notebook was brand new and they started at the back. And he said that it looked to him like it was um, notes taken during the deliberations of the Jimmy Rogers trial.
Oh no.
The person said they didn't read them, so and the defense lawyer did not make a big stink about it. So I'm guessing that it might not be a problem unless they try to use it later on for um, you know,
Well,
uh,
they don't seem to be setting up a defense that says that these people didn't kill her. I don't know what the defense is going to set up, but they just don't seem to
well,
be
I think
setting up.
they're
Yeah,
I think they're
I
just
get it.
trying to say that Mark didn't do this. Mark had nothing to do with this, although I don't know how they're going to try to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is the first time I've heard like so many incidences so far with the jury. As a matter of fact, I just saw something pop up on my phone that was saying something from Law and Crime about it. Uh, Interesting. Hi, Evie Bubbles. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We are going to have a discussion, a case discussion on Saturday, and it looks like it's going to be. We will update Jennifer Rothwell if there is anything to update, and we will probably talk about Mark Sievers only because I don't know how much discovery on Chris Watts I'll get through reading, and I filled out my form. I need to submit it to request the discovery so that I can use it on the channel.
Yeah.
Lord knows, with everything going on, I want to do everything the right way. I also heard an interesting video before I left work. Another YouTube creator. I've never heard of him before, but I guess because I've been kind of watching these videos about Kappa, and And I just want to say, we all know in phonetics that a double P has got to be a short O. It cannot be a long O. There are exceptions to like every rule in the book, but this is not one of those things that there is really ever an exception to. So it just drives me crazy when I hear people go Kappa, Copa, whatever. It doesn't matter. Well, it is an acronym. It's fine, but you still, if you're going to actually say it like it's a word, you need to actually say it properly, in my opinion. But he said he called the FTC office in Texas, wherever it may have been Houston, it may have been another big city. I guess that's where he's located, to find out if they are actually going to start coming after all these creators and finding them, $40,000 for videos. Which, I mean, no, we know they're not going to come after these little bitty creators for that. But we did hear that it was going to be based off of the amount that a person earns on the video if it's been improperly marked. He said the FTC has no intention of going after individual creators. At least the person that he talked to at this office said that. And that what the FTC does is they go after, companies, and they're not really big into going into after individuals. However, I'm wondering how that's going to play out since YouTube's trying to pawn it off on the creators. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Aren't they technically kind of subcontractors of YouTube, even though they're not? Well, they are paid by YouTube, so aren't they technically sub?
Yes, because they are not employees. They would be technically subcontractors. Uh, I would have to read the paperwork on that. One of the things that I'm going to do, or intend to do over this weekend, unless I get too busy packing and preparing for next week, is I want to actually pull up the version of the terms of service that we are all going to have to click and agree that we will abide by come, I think that comes out January 10th, I believe. I actually want to go through and read it. And
It goes into effect January 1st, but it doesn't come
no,
out
no,
until January 10th.
no, December 10th. No, that's COPPA is different. COPPA is in effect now. The settlement, right, the settlement agreement takes effect January 1. The YouTube though is updating the terms of service, and that takes effect December 10th, and they're doing it as a precursor to what's happening in January with COPPA.
Interesting.
Right. So it is a cover your ass kind of thing for YouTube, which, I mean, I understand they are forking out some serious dough for this, but they did it. Honest to goodness, they
Right.
did it, and they knew they were doing it, and they did it anyway. And yeah, COPPA's
It's
been
all a
out
mess.
since, what'd they say, I think it's 1997 when it came out, or when the FTC put that out. I mean,
It
obviously,
would have been during MySpace days, so
right. And evidently they've already gone after Musically. I know I've heard some people mention, oh, next they're going to do Musically, and then they'll go to Twitch. And actually, from what I understand, they've been going after Musically, and I'm not sure where that's at in their negotiations or whatever. But from what I understand, they've they've already approached them about it. So
I think the lesson here is don't target your ads at kids. Period.
well, I think the lesson here is force people to log in to watch videos, first of all. Then you can control the age group that's going. Obviously, you're not going to be able to control people lying about their age when they sign up for your service. but you certainly can make every effort. And if you've made every effort, you know, the government, does some really dumb things, but they don't normally make a habit of going after people who are inadvertently doing something that could be construed as a negative thing. So if YouTube was doing everything within its power, but yet people were purposefully circumventing the system to be able to watch it and they're a kid, I don't think you can 100% fault YouTube on that. So, but they don't have that parameter in. The reason why they got in trouble was because you don't have to log into your account to watch videos, which means that kids could, watch a video just by clicking a link because they didn't have to be logged into it. And it was the website YouTube was collecting cookies and things because they're directing ads at you based at what you're clicking. Well, if that child was under 13, then that was each one of those events was breaking COPPA.
Right. It wasn't targeting the ads. It was targeting based on who was watching and what they were clicking on it. That was the problem. It goes back to the parents need to be watching what their kids are watching too. Parents need to take some responsibility here.
Maria, what do you mean by Marky is going down?
Beavers.
Oh, oh, I guess that was a previous conversation. Yeah, I don't see how he's going to get out of it. It is possible that a hung jury or some other thing could happen, but if something happens with the trial, there is no way that prosecutor is going to let it go.
No, it looks like they have too much.
Yeah, I think they have way too much, and I need to buy. Evie Bubbles, I'm worried about my mom today. She's having an operation on her big toe. Well, I mean, at least it's only a big toe. And I have seen two live stream P-bombed, which is disgusting. What does that mean? What in the world are you
I
talking
have
about?
no.
I'm thinking photobombed, and I'm like, how do you photobomb a live stream? And if it's inappropriate, don't type it.
Now I gotta Google it.
Right? And then you can tell me if it's inappropriate. Oh, I see. Well, I'm going to remove that message, but I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Well, Evie, that's one of the things that you as not you personally, but as a channel creator, or even if you don't create anything, if you just um, have live streams, you don't ever do a video, you are responsible for what shows up on. You're responsible for the comments that happen in your chat. You're responsible for anything that shows up on your screen. Um, I can't believe I didn't change the way that my camera was set. That was dumb of me. Um, However, so that's one of the reasons why I'm not just going to off the cuff let people onto my panels. Um, at the very least, I'm going to have had interaction with them in my Discord, or somebody that I trust is going to have to know them, because you don't know what people are going to say or do when you put them on a live stream. And if you can't trust that they're not going to try to do something to your channel, it's just not a good idea. It's just not. I have to be honest, I've, up until a few days ago, I had never been, at least not purposefully, on a drama channel at all. Um, but Mrs. Roger Rabbit gave me a link because I was asking about something, and so I went to listen to this. And um, it seems to me that this channel, I mean, and they admit that they are a drama channel, they're in the drama community. I have no idea what kind of circle that is. Uh, I would imagine it has everything to do with drama, but the thing that interested me about that was they were willing to take two sides that were disagreeing, bring them together, and give them the opportunity to say, okay, here's this, and this person's not being nice to me, and this person's not being nice to me, and here's why. And the thing about that is, if they don't know who those people are and they bring them on and they like get on there and start ranting and cussing and saying horrible things and being racist or anything that, can get you in serious trouble with YouTube, you have to literally shut those down as quickly as you can and get them off of there. Well, that's why I mean, you're really taking a risk expecting that people can act their age when you bring them on your live stream. People should send links to Instagram that they know very well. I stay away from drama channels. I'm not a big fan of Instagram. I mean, I like looking at pictures, don't get me wrong, but seems to me that there's a lot of room to get in trouble on Instagram, and I mean, really any social media, um, especially when it's like an open forum for, people liking you and they have no clue who you are. It's okay, Facebook can be that way. However, most people, their Facebook is at least somewhat privatized. So most people do not have everything public on their Facebook so that everybody in the world can see all their business, and when they're going on vacation, when their house is empty, or those kinds of things. Um, but so Facebook to me seems to be a bit of a different platform than Twitter and Instagram and even Snapchat. I'm not a big fan of Snapchat. My kids, they use Snapchat a ton, and all their friends, they all talk to each other. And I think a lot of that is because it gives them some privacy, and that the conversations don't automatically save, so it's a way to circumvent their parents. But once the parents, get wise up and realize what's going on, like, that kind of ruins that for them. Like, when I told my daughter that I made a Snapchat account, she was like, "What?" She was upset because she thought, "Oh, well, that's one platform that my mom's never going to get on." I don't
Oh,
really.
that's funny. She didn't know better.
I know, right? And the funny thing is, I mean, I guess she figures because she doesn't save her Snapchat chats, that even though when I search her phone, so I can't see what she's been talking about, but I can see other things that are going on. I can see who she's, hooked up with, or friended with, or linked up, or liked, or followed, or whatever term they use on Snapchat for that. Um, but obviously I can't see her conversations, which I guess is really the big draw to that. But you know, if they weren't doing anything wrong, there would really be no need to hide what they're saying.
Exactly.
And I can only imagine if we had had cell phones and all these apps when we were kids, how very different everything would be. Because can you imagine, like, my parents would have literally probably searched my phone every night, right, to make sure I was behaving. And you would know that that was going to happen. And you would know that if they found something on that phone, you were going to get your hind end whooped, right? There was no way you were going to get away with anything because they just weren't going to allow that to happen. And, you know, back then more so than now, other parents kept an eye out for kids too. So if your friend down the street would have seen you post, some kind of a little bit risque video or something on your phone, and they were watching it and their mom saw it, they'd be on the phone going, "Hey, do you know that your daughter did blah blah blah?" Because that's what they did back then.
Absolutely.
And now the parents aren't even paying attention to their own kids, much the less helping to watch out for your kids. So, I mean, I did have a friend who, her daughter obviously saw a video that my daughter made that was a little shocking to her because she, flipped her middle finger in it. And I certainly don't approve of that. But, I mean, teenagers are teenagers. And, if flipping her middle finger on a video was the worst thing she ever did, I would be a little okay with that. However, it's not.
Absolutely.
But of all the things for somebody to snitch on her for, like, there are certainly other things that she has done that I wished somebody would have snitched instead of other things happening. But.
Yeah, we don't always have eyes where we need them.
Well, and part of the problem is the kids, their knowledge of what's going on, like how they can sneak around their parents knowing, and these apps that like appear to be something that they're not. I mean, even adults really are using apps like this to, when they're cheating to try to circumvent their spouse finding out stuff. And it's just ridiculous, right? If why in the world, my husband and I, we never look at each other's phones, but I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you got to watch this video," and I'll hand him my phone. If he looked through my entire phone, I wouldn't care. I have nothing to hide from him. If you're not doing
Same
anything
here.
wrong, you have nothing to hide. So why in the world do you need to be hiding behind things if, obviously you're doing something you shouldn't be?
I could grab my husband's computer and he could grab mine and look through it. Neither one of us would have a problem with it, but we just don't because we do trust people.
Right. I have to tell you, one of the funniest things that ever happened to us with the computers, and this was back before World of Warcraft came out, and my husband and I, we lived in a different house at the time, and uh, it was down in the hood in the city, right? So we lived in a two-family flat, but we had the whole thing. So we had the bedrooms were upstairs, and like the living area was downstairs. And so our bedroom upstairs was huge. So we had this huge bed in there. We had um we had like a side table that went with a like an executive desk set that we had our TV on, and we had books in and stuff. And then on either side, back to back, we had two desks, and one was mine and my computer, and one was my husband's and his computer. And we literally sat back to back to each other, right? And we sat there and would play Warcraft 2 BattleNet Edition, um, anytime, well, particularly all winter when we couldn't really go fishing. And um, one day we're sitting there playing, and all of a sudden, like, what he was working on in the thing stopped. He stopped building his stuff and moving, and I'm like, what is going on? You're getting destroyed over there. And he's like, I don't know, but you're gonna have to help me. And I'm like, what? And I turn around and look, and there's all of these like porn ads that are just like flipping through his screen. He's like, and I can't get him to stop. And every time I close one, five more comes up, and I'm watching him, and I'm laughing. I'm just laughing, and I'm going, you got a virus. And he's freaking out because he can't get it to shut down. And every time he closes one, like, 5 to 10 more pop up. And so I was like, you have a virus. So, I had to find where the file was, and it was duplicating itself and everything. And anyway, I took care of it and I got rid of it. And he was like, oh my gosh. I said, you were afraid I was going to get pissed, didn't you? He's like, I did actually, but it wasn't my fault. I don't even know what was going on. I said, well, what was the last website you were on before that happened? And he said, it was a message board. He was looking up something for one of the vehicles. He was trying to figure out how to fix something or whatever. And I said, oh, so it was a mechanic's web uh, message board. He said, yeah. I said, it's exactly why they happened to you. You accidentally clicked on something, or they had something embedded in there. I said, and that's what happened.
How funny.
It was really funny too. And you know what? It happened a second time to him. And I was sitting there again when it happened.
It's not innocent when that kind of stuff comes up on my husband's page. It's him. He went looking for that.
Yeah, yeah, mine not so much.
I do know my husband very well, so I know what he does.
I just thought it was funny because he was freaking out because he couldn't get it to stop, and he had no clue. He had no clue what was going on. He just didn't know that such a thing existed. It was so funny, and I'm like, well, because it's duplicating itself every time you close one. That's why more are popping up, because it's moving and it's duplicating itself, and you've got to stop trying to close it out.
At that point, you just go in and flush your cookies completely.
You know what? No, you know what I ended up doing? So I ended up finding what the file was with the antivirus program. And once I found out what the file was, and I allowed it to duplicate itself one more time because I wanted to make sure it was the right file. You know what I did? This is so funny. I fooled it because I moved it into the recycle bin. I emptied the recycle bin and rebooted the computer. And I did that 2 times, and it quit. I guess the second time it quit duplicating itself, or whatever I did made it, kind of spaz out, and it disappeared and it went away. And he didn't have it happen again until he was on a mechanic's site again, had the same thing. Well, I mean, I've seen the ads on those things. It's ridiculous. They go to AutoZone, and they're likely to get hit with it if somebody has embedded one of those things
Oh,
into
absolutely.
one of the ads.
Anywhere men congregate, you're going to find that stuff.
Oh, right. Oh, absolutely. Because they know. They know men are their target audience, and they know that, men are located in certain places in large quantities.
Absolutely.
I just always found it amusing. But that was pretty much when I quit using Norton's antivirus because I felt like it was a piece of shit after that. So it says we have 5 people watching, but it looks like everybody's being awful quiet out there.
We need to send a marching band through the room somehow.
A marching band? Hmm.
Yeah, it'll wake them all up. My husband was dropping stuff last night, so it sounded like there was a marching band going through my room every time I fell asleep.
Really? You know what I downloaded though? Because evidently I have to learn the Marine Fight song. I didn't
Oh,
even think about that.
that's a pretty easy one. It's played all the time. You'll pick it up when you go see him.
Oh, so I got an interesting Christmas gift from a lady at work today. Already, right? Before even Thanksgiving. But she wanted us to be able to use them. And I told her I would put it on my live stream tonight.
What did you get?
It is a Christmas pillow, but what's even better about it is that it lights up. It's a Christmas tree pillow that lights up.
Oh, how cute.
I know, right? So, yeah, so the last 2 years I've gotten actually something kind of useful from her. I've been a little surprised.
That's kind of neat.
Yes, I thought so.
I like the colors too. It's not too red, green, gold, pink.
Right, it's got a rustic look to it. I really like it.
I love that.
Yep. So I thought I'd set it there tonight. I probably should block that light with it. I need something a little I need a light that's darker in here, I guess, for this room. But it's a nativity scene, Scentsy warmer. I really like it.
Cute.
Right? And my husband did put up my lights behind me around the white tiger curtain, but I can't get them to look quite right. And they're not. I can't use the remote because well, I told you. I think I can't use the remote because my network is too high class. It's really crappy. Usually I'm behind in the times, and evidently I'm ahead in the times.
I'm multitasking over here, so I'm sending hubby stuff for the grandbabies for Christmas.
Oh, nice. I have to buy
We're trying
myself.
to find a Switch on Black Friday for our granddaughter.
Oh, okay. I have to find myself a new pair of tennis shoes this weekend. That is my biggest goal because I need a new pair of tennis shoes for all the walking I'm going to be doing next week. I don't think these ones I've had them for a while and they are not going to be comfortable enough. I wonder why they said. Oh, I know why. So I can probably go over to Thunder Bluff. You guys don't have to be shy that's watching. You can talk. ask questions,
Yes.
make comments. Let's see.
Well, I may have found a good deal, but I'm not sure because it's the light, not the regular one.
Oh. Okay, look at this. Look at this flippin' orc with a chef hat on. He is so discombobulated in that outfit. Look at that. Look at that god awful outfit he's got on. And then he's got a chef hat on. Just absolutely amusing, I have to say. You never know what you're going to see.
Oh, ain't he cute?
Right? Seriously. He's not good enough looking for this character, though.
It's not like Steph Ramsey meets the Flash.
I don't know.
Maybe Captain America.
I don't know, but sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder. Well, I know obviously some people do not transmog their outfits. But on the other hand, I often wonder how people determine they're going to transmog to a certain outfit. And do they think that looks good, or are they purposefully making it look like silliness? Or I just often
I wonder if
wonder.
they're trying to make it as funny as they can, the silliest they can, or if those are just their favorite colors.
Oh, it's possible.
They could be colorblind too, you know. I didn't think about that one.
There's colorblind mode in the game, though. I actually, um, in my guild, one of my officers who is a very heavy raider, he is colorblind. And so if we would put colored markers, um, we would have to not call them by the colors. We'd have to call them by the shapes so that he would know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that would be really interesting.
And he also has an interesting time when there's like the same ability or like different abilities make the same like look on the ground or in the air or something, but like one color means one thing and one color means another. We would have to call out stuff like that to him so he would know what was
Oh,
coming.
man, I never even thought about that. That's tricky.
Yeah, I didn't either until he finally one day told me he's colorblind, and I'm like, well, why didn't you tell us that? Because we would have been able to adjust the way that we said things so that, he didn't tell me for the longest time. I think he's a little vain about that.
Man, just tell us. We need to know this stuff. If you're colorblind and you play World of Warcraft, you have to let your group know.
Right?
We don't want you walking into danger. We can prevent that. Keep you healthy. Saves us from having to heal you.
Hi, Optimistically Cynical. I love that name. When I was a kid, my parents had one of those Ronco rotisserie ovens from the infomercial. One Thanksgiving, my dad put the turkey in the oven, set the timer, and then walked out. Oh, that's not good.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be like, the turkey burnt or something.
Right?
I'm going to guess Thanksgiving is not your favorite holiday.
I'm not big on Thanksgiving either, so I wouldn't blame.
I am, but I'll tell you, this is the first time my son is not here, so that's going to be interesting. I might.
I used to love it when I was younger, but my dad's birthday is November 28th, so Thanksgiving.
He said it and forget it. Yeah, that's what the infomercial said.
Those cook some prime rib really well.
Really?
Oh yeah, best prime rib I've ever had was cooked on a raw. It is the only reason we have one actually.
Really?
Absolutely, it's the only thing we use it for.
I never got one of those, but I am seriously considering buying one of these. Well, now they got these Instapot air fryer mix things. I'm seriously considering that.
Yeah, I bought my Instapot and then they came out with that. Now I want one of those.
Right. And I keep thinking, with my son gone and, my daughter, like, she feels like she's already got, half her body out the door because she only has 4 more years. Um, at some point here, it is going to be just him and I, and, like, that would be an easy thing to make a meal in.
It absolutely is, and it bakes baked potatoes wonderfully.
That's good. Um,
20 minutes, you get a hot pressed baked potato.
really?
Oh, hubby says 30 because you have to let it de-steam itself.
That's all right. Do you remember? I mean, I don't know. Do you remember the old pressure cookers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. um, yeah, my grandmother used to use one all the time. My mom used one too, not quite as often, but I just remember that thing sitting on the top and, like whistling and spinning around and thinking, wow, what does that thing have to do with how that thing works? Because, when you're young, you don't have a clue.
Yeah.
They don't have Thanksgiving in New Zealand, and it's Thursday. Well, maybe you don't have Thanksgiving, but you could still have turkey on Thursday.
Turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy, some stuffing, and some green beans. Oh, it's the best day of the year.
Yep, and well, and did you see, Evie? Did you see, like, we actually did hit 100 subs here, so we're moving on up very slowly, but I'm very happy with it. Actually, I decided I'm calling everybody tigers. I'm not calling them subs.
What were you gonna call them?
Assholes. No,
Oh man, that's so sad.
I told you I was gonna make you laugh tonight.
I'm pouting still. I'm gonna pout. It's
Nope,
another
I'm still gonna make you
afternoon.
laugh every once in a while.
Yeah, but I keep sitting here thinking my baby's not here.
Well, neither is mine, so we can commiserate together about that particular subject.
Yeah. But my grandbaby was gonna be here too, and I had all these plans. We were gonna make lasagna. We were gonna go shopping. We were gonna do all this stuff.
Well, just look at it as a
And
postponement. That's all. It's just postponed. The trip is postponed.
yeah, now I want her for all 8 days of Hanukkah.
Well, you should insist upon it.
I'll be lucky to get one.
Evie Bubble says that is awesome. I wish I could give you more. No, see, I don't want subs given to me. That's the thing. I want my tigers to earn their way in here and find me and like me. And that's kind of the whole point to this. I am very opinionated and I have lots of stuff that am willing to talk about and uh, lots of things that I'm willing to share. But I only want people that are interested. If people aren't interested, I'm also not interested in, I don't want the drama. I don't want, to feel like I have to cater to 50,000 different people. I mean, I am what I am and that's pretty much the way it goes.
You either like it or you don't.
Yeah, that's pretty much the way people um, are with me. They either hate me or they really like me a lot. There does not seem to be a middle ground. And that's okay. I have earned that all on my own.
Yeah, I think that's the way people are with me too. I think they're like that with everybody, but some people are just really fake and you don't see it right.
I think some people. Oh my gosh, why did I come down here? This is completely the wrong place. Um, I think some people, though, I think some people can be neutral with certain people only because there are people that, and I don't really want this to come across the way it's going to sound, but there are people who are more undecided and wishy-washy. And those kind of people, even even when I come across ones that are really strongly that way, it is a little difficult to decide whether or not that is a likable person or not. Because
Yeah.
if they're constantly balancing themselves on a fence and never tiptoeing on the other side at all, no matter what you're talking about, whether it's food that you like, or politics, or religion, or the kind of books you like to read. I mean, it could be literally anything. But if you're always walking on that fence or that tightrope and you never stick your toe on the other side, it's difficult to read a person like that to know whether or not you would like or not like a kind of person like that.
Well, I think that's kind of their point though, because I think that they're avoiding showing their true selves when they do
Right.
that kind of
I
thing.
think
They
people,
stay right in.
right, people like that are, and particularly if you're finding them um, running a channel on YouTube, I think it's because they're too greedy. They're too greedy. They don't want to alienate anybody who could possibly become a subscriber to their channel and possibly make them money. And that's, I don't think that's a smart way to go about it.
Right. You have to. If my grandpa always said, if you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything, and he always taught us you have to pick the right side. It's not going to be right for everybody, but it has to be right for you.
Right. Well, I have always been a very decisive person. My husband, on the other hand, not so decisive. There are some things he's been very decisive about, but most things not. Most things he just flutters whatever way the wind blows, and that works for him, and that's fine. It drives me insane, but you know, it is what it is. But maybe that's because it offsets the fact that I can literally, like, you give me two choices, I'll pick one immediately.
Oh, I'm terrible at making choices. But when it comes to something I believe strongly in, I don't.
Yeah. Um, the thing I the thing I never understand about people not being willing to make decisions is if you're always walking down the middle, you're kind of missing stuff on both sides. I mean, if you pick one side or the other, yes, you might be missing something on the other side, but you're at least getting the stuff on that side, whatever it is. I feel like you kind of, oh, goodness gracious, somebody's got a loud car going down the street. Um, I'm surprised the dogs didn't go kind of crazy. Usually Lemon doesn't like that, but he seems to be sleeping at my feet.
You
But
know, if it's two people having a disagreement, I'm not picking sides because especially if I really like both people, I'm gonna stand back and let them work it out. If they don't work it out and one goes after the other, I'm going after the one they went out. I'm going with the one they went after because I always go with the underdog.
see, and I don't I don't usually feel like if two people are having a disagreement or an argument, you know what? Perfect example. Perfect example. My parents. Okay. Um, my parents are very strong personalities, both of them. Um, very different in the way they were raised. Very different kind of parents, and very different in their opinions about things. And on some respects, well, in a lot of respects. And they would argue when we were kids. I mean, about stupid things, sometimes important things, sometimes stupid things, but they would really have these very heated arguments. And as I got older, I realized that it seemed to me that one of them was walking into the argument a bit unarmed. And by that I mean, um, I get a lot of this part of my personality from my mom, right? My mom is very opinionated. She is very intelligent. She always has a basis for her thoughts or beliefs about anything or what she's making a decision on, right? So even if you, because there's been times that I've disagreed with her, but I understood where she was coming from, so I would, like I wouldn't have a huge discussion about it with her. My dad, on the other hand, um, comes into it with an opinion, but nothing to back it up. So they would, and sometimes these arguments were really stupid. I mean, I argue about stupid stuff with my husband because we don't ever argue about the really big stuff. And my dad would, argue, and then he, like, maybe we would go to the store. Maybe I'd end up going to the store with him after him and my mom were arguing, and he'd still be mumbling about her. And finally, one day, I looked at him. I'm like, Dad, I don't understand why you bother arguing with her. I understand that you disagree with her, but you know how she is. She's very opinionated, as you are. She always has stuff to back up why she, is in that position. So if you can't bring to her why you are in the position, why you're taking the position you are, you shouldn't even try to have that discussion with her because all it is going to be is a screaming match. And he just looked at me.
Exactly.
Right. And he just looked at me and was like, ah, and he still, and I'm like, okay, whatever. But this is, you're going to complain to me about it. Here's what I'm going to tell you because it's the very thing, and the bad thing is my mom is right like 99.99% of the time. There have been very, 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 very few times that any of us have ever been right and she's been wrong. It's just the way it is, and it frustrates, you know, him to no end, which I understand. But sometimes you have to realize, okay, well, if I'm going to argue with a person like that, I better really have something to where at least they're going to be able to go, okay, well, that is well founded, even though I disagree with you, so we won't have this huge argument about it.
usually have a dozen sites pulled up on my computer to back up anything I say. So my husband just looks at me and goes, "Okay."
See, my husband and I, the only time we usually argue is one of us has had a really bad day or in a bad mood, or like my husband will let stuff build up, particularly from work. Just build up and build up, and then it's like, eventually the pressure has to come out. So, he'll end up yelling at me or whatever. And usually I won't realize right away. It's been a while since he's done it, so it won't dawn on me till after we kind of yelled at each other for a little bit. And but it's kind of funny because most of the time he's just like, if there's a decision that has to be made, he'll be like, whatever, babe, whatever you pick, whatever, whatever, until it's something he absolutely knows what he wants. And then he'll say, this is what we're doing, and that's the end of it. And he does that so rarely that I never argue with him.
Usually, hubby knows that if I'm actually going at him, I'm really not feeling well, and I'm physically, emotionally, mentally exhausted, and I just need to. It's taken us years to figure that out, but he's figured it out finally, and he helps me through it.
Right. But it's really the way it's supposed to work. I mean, I know they say it's 50-50, but honestly, it really should be 100-100. I mean, everybody should be giving 100% in any relationship they have. I mean, you don't go to work and expect to give them 50% of your effort and still, have that job. I mean, yeah, it happens, but you shouldn't expect it because it's not going to always end that way. I don't know why I'm in such a philosophical mood tonight. I'm in a really good mood, and I don't know why.
Sorry, hold on just 1 second.
One, you're done. Okay, I'm going to try to kill 450. Is it 40? And it's 40 turkeys so I can get the turkey hunter title achievement on here. I don't think I have it on this character.
We have weather moving in, and it's really
Yep,
messing with my head right now.
we do too. And I don't know what we're going to get. We had terrible weather last night. We had wind gusting at 50 miles per hour this morning. It was ridiculous. This is not the Windy City. That's further north. Chicago is up there, 5 hours north. Seriously, somebody got confused.
My Norwegian ancestors came when they came here. They moved right to Chicago, Joliet area, and my dad moved to California. So yeah, I cannot imagine why he moved to Southern California. Can you?
From Chicago, yes.
He was so out of there. They sent him to Pendleton, and he stayed.
Yep.
I'm kind of wishing they had stayed in Hawaii though. That would have been cool growing up in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, I've never been, but someday.
Well, but then I couldn't have grown up at Disneyland. So yeah, I'm kind of happy they went to California. I'm gonna take that.
Evie Bubbles, I laughed so hard last night it was hard to sleep. I got 4 hours. What? Were you just laying in the bed laughing? Was somebody tickling your feet? I felt like that was kind of out of left field, or maybe I missed something.
I don't know.
We have load construction noise here, putting electrical wires underground. Loud, sorry, not load. Oh. Oh, is that why you were laughing? Construction doesn't make me laugh. God, I'd be like, well, actually, this morning, something in one of our trees had to have ended up coming out and landing and rubbing up against our gutter because it was making quite a bit of noise this morning. And I told Donald, I said, you got to fix this. I can't sleep like that tonight. Oh, she was watching a funny stream last night. Well, it wasn't me. It couldn't have been too funny. I'm up to 23. We're getting there. I kind of feel bad for this little dude over here that I'm coming and stealing his turkeys probably.
I went to bed so early last night. I didn't watch anybody, so I missed everything.
Um, I don't remember when I went to bed last night. Do you? Did we talk last night? No, you were gone.
No, I went to
What
bed at
did
like
I do last
5:30.
night? Well, listen, Evie, everybody knows that I'm the funniest person around here. I'm the funniest looking, I'm the funniest talking, I'm the funniest everything. I make the funniest
Okay, did
sounds.
you see Kaz and Lisa in that clip that Kaz put up yesterday?
I watched that. I did.
Okay, and
Which
now
part
you
of it?
still gonna say you're the funniest?
Yeah, I am. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Those animals, the taxidermy animals. Every time Lisa looks at that monkey, I remember that.
Oh my
I
gosh, it was
remember
so
Lisa
delayed.
got it.
It was so delayed too. That's the thing about Lisa that's so great when she's doing that with Kaz, like when they're looking at pictures. Kaz reacts right away, and then there's this delay, and then all of a sudden Lisa comes back from um looking at her phone to watch the chat and then was like startled all to hell because she's got this funky thing looking at her.
It was hilarious. I love it when they do the weird taxidermy. I want them to do Walmart people. That would be so much fun.
We did do Walmart people.
Did they?
I don't know if we were on Kaz's or Lisa's when it happened. I might have been Lisa's and I pulled them up because somebody mentioned it in the chat, remember? And I was like, oh, well, Lisa, we can share screen. I can pull that up. And we did do some. I don't know if you were there, but
We
we did.
we used to pass the Porter Walmart on our way out to go to our see our in-laws for the family reunion. So we always wanted to stop, but I'm so terrified to stop because I've looked at the people at Walmart too much. I'm scared of them.
See, I overdress evidently going to Walmart from the way that those pictures are. I way overdress, and I'm a very casual dresser. I am definitely a jeans and t-shirt kind of person, or jeans and hoodie kind of person. Uh, but I'll tell you, like, you'd think that some of those women are trying to find their man in Walmart.
I always overdress. I know I overdress. I'm okay with it. I tried doing the pajama thing when I had a procedure I had to go have done, so I wore pajamas. I was so uncomfortable. I will never do.
Well, I have to be honest. I am in my pajamas right now. I am wearing well, actually, no, my shirt's not technically pajamas. It's a Catholic t-shirt. It's Padre Pio. And, but I do have my sleeping pants on, and they are Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm in PJs too. By the way,
And,
Padre Pio prayed for my parents for 9 years, and then my sister was.
oh, that's interesting. This t-shirt is, yeah, Padre Pio t-shirt. See his picture?
We used to get a scroll from him every year for Christmas, letting us know we were in his prayers.
Great, great person. Great, great person.
Well, my dad went and had a personal audience with John Paul to get his annul.
That's another great man, too.
My dad did security for some of the statues that were close to John Paul's heart, so he had special privileges. My grandfather used to do security as well, so they had special privileges and they got a personal audience. We skip scrolls from him too.
Oh my
We got
gosh.
some neat stuff growing up. My dad was hired by Disney, so he has cards from Disney, Christmas cards from Disney.
Oh, did I get it in? Oh my god, it reset! Son of a bucket! I'll have to try tomorrow on this one. Sorry.
Miss?
So what happens is when you're killing turkeys, you I struggle with my competitiveness. Everybody has to know that when I play this game. And I get very frustrated with myself when I don't like I slipped. My attention slipped a bit there because we got to talking about Padre Pio. And so what happens is when you kill a turkey, you get a debuff, right? And that debuff lasts like I don't know, 10, 15 seconds maybe. And so the goal is if you get 40 turkeys with still keeping that buff up, right? You get a special achievement.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now.
So I missed on that one because I wasn't paying attention. And I kind of pride myself on the fact that I'm really good at this particular thing because I can snatch things out of people's hands. I can tag things so quickly with just about every class that, it's probably shameful, but it used to be very hard to compete and kill these turkeys. So I had to get really good really fast. And so I get upset when I don't get my achievement. Not that it's the end of the world because, I could always go and do it, start all over and do it again. It's fine, but I gotta buy ingredients. And the bad thing is, I don't think I made a panda over here on this horde server. And pandas are really who should be your cooks because they have the highest chance to make extra food. Not only that, they are also the ones that can more quickly pop the pet out when you're cooking. What's its name? I don't remember its name. I'm going to have to look because it's a very cute. As a matter of fact, I should just pull that pet out because you can cook with that pet out and I wouldn't have to keep running over to this table like an idiot.
Do you get to throw food at people yet?
So, um, the last character I did not do it on. I guess I technically didn't do it on this one either. Well, I didn't. You get that achievement for doing the food fight. I always pass the food,
Yeah.
but I didn't actually bonk anybody in the head with it, so I could go sit
Oh,
down and do that.
you got to. You just got to do it.
All right, all right. There's somebody here. I'll do it here. Oh, sit down at the table, lady. Oh, they want my. Fine. I don't care what chair you get in. Just get in a dang chair. Nobody's sitting in chairs here. Nobody likes the Thunder Bluff chairs anymore. Oh, here's somebody. They're not sitting. I don't know if I can't start a food fight if they're not sitting.
You can throw the food at the NPC, so you should be able to throw the food at them even if they're standing.
Yeah, but I don't think it starts a food fight. No, invalid target, it said. Somebody sit down at the table. Hello? I guess when I go to um, Undercity, I will do it there. I'm going to go fly to Orgrimmar now.
It's just a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's starting a food fight anyway is. I used to just start the food fights all the time. I always seem to be on a mission now, though, and less goof offish, I guess.
Yeah, I'm always running quests and
Oh,
stuff.
don't start yawning, because I am bound and determined. God help us, unless she doesn't start her live till 1 o'clock, I will stay up tonight.
I am so tired tonight. I am probably not gonna make it.
I don't I don't know what time we're going to dinner. I don't know what time my mom is having food tomorrow,
I just can't do it.
but I did get a lemon meringue pie to take over there. Besides the fact that my husband provided the turkey. Actually,
Nice.
actually both our works provided them. So our big boss where I work, he always gets us Tippin's pies for Thanksgiving. Well, I'm always in the end of the line because he was standing there by my desk and did not tell me that the pies were there. So, of course, by the time I found out, the best I could do was a lemon meringue pie, which is fine. I like lemon meringue pie. Um, so I got that pie, and then my husband gets a turkey from work, and so I was like, okay, Mom, I have a lemon meringue pie to add to the dinner since I know Donald brought the turkey over to you. I feel like there's a string on my shirt. There is. I don't know, but I am in some kind of wild mood tonight. And the dogs are sleeping. Lemon moved from my feet to the hassock next to me, and oh, Gizmo's in lemon on Lemon's bed.
Oh boy. I just found another double cousin. That's really
Is a double cousin better than a one cousin?
they're related on both sides. They're related to my father's side and my mother's side.
Oh, I probably have a lot of that on my dad's side of the family.
My mom's side, everybody's related. So yeah, I don't even know what to tell people. They've been here so long.
I
It's
am
hard to
my
know
own
who.
grandpa. That's what you tell. You remember
Well,
that song?
my grandmother always said that her and my grandfather shared grandparents. And I didn't understand it until I went back and found, yes, they did. Her second great, or her, either her second or third great grandfather is the same as his first or second great grandfather.
Oh, you're not going to believe what we listened to today. So every Friday at work, at 5 minutes till we go. So like today we got off early, so 5 minutes before we were supposed to get off, we get a Friday song, right? People can put in requests and stuff. Let me see if I can find it to listen to. Hopefully we don't get in trouble. I'm gonna have to queue it up some other time. It's not coming through the thing. Oh my god, but it was so funny. I feel like we're on a roller coaster ride though. Like the number of people here is up and down like a roller coaster. But I don't feel like very many of them are commenting or saying anything to us.
No, it's pretty quiet. I think everybody's doing cooking or something.
I think everybody just wants to be entertained. What if I want to be entertained? What if I came on here for somebody to entertain me? Well, I guess I'm doing the wrong thing, right? I shouldn't be the
Right.
one streaming, I guess. I guess I'm supposed to be doing the entertaining. Okay, I'm going to switch characters, so that means that I have to remember to do the food fight on the next one. It's my warlock. That'll be the hardest one to kill the turkeys and get the Turkinator title. Oh, I I've been playing this game way too long, and I get way too involved in these events. Just like I really need to get all my garrisons up so that, the Christmas event will be the next one, right? And I need to be able to do the dailies, the Christmas garrison dailies, and yeah, I might just have to do them all on my alliance tunes. Goodness gracious, I felt like I was being a traitor. Oh, no, don't do that. You'll kill yourself. Putting fire feet on. Lord knows I put that on and I forget to take it off. And then next thing you know, you drop dead. Why am I dead? I need to move this. Unlock.
Maybe it was the fire feet.
Yeah, when I think about it, because usually what happens is I put it on and forget that I had it on, and then I die, and then I'm like, what in the heck happened? I'm not supposed to just drop dead in this game, and then never realized that it because I had the fire feet on until the next time I put the fire feet on, and then I'm like, oh, that's why I died. I forgot. Which you would think you would see the fire coming out of your feet and the fire trail that you leave as you're walking along, but no, not me. I am too focused to where I'm going and not where I have been. I think I got in the wrong elevator. This one's got some serious teeth on it. Oh my gosh, and my dragon can't get through the door, and these guys look like they're about ready to fall apart, and that one won't get through the door. What the heck is going on here? I swear, now the moose horns isn't going through the door. What is wrong with... Why do they make mounts that do not auto fit through doors? I will never understand.
I don't know. That bugs me so much.
I mean, let's make a mammoth, right? with two vendors, one on each side, and let's make sure it cannot fit through any doorway. Why? Because we're Blizzard and that's what we do. Oh, eat 5 helpings of pie. Oh, are you going to get at another chair? Please tell me. Please tell me. Yes, I'm going to bonk this person. On the first try. Are you kidding me? Last time it took like 10 tries. Now all of a sudden, first try. How? 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 How did that happen? There was no excitement. Oh, and I have the sound off, so I didn't even hear the bonk. Bonk, bonk.
Right?
Well, the sound and you coming through the same device, I would rather hear you. So,
Aw.
so it was more important that everybody could hear you because I'm probably talking enough to not even hear the game anyway, other than it drowning me out. Let's see. Now where am I going to? Which chair? Cranberry. We're going to eat us up some cranberries. I don't get cranberries at Thanksgiving anymore. My grandmother used to make a cranberry jello mold thing. It seems
My
like,
grandma always did ambrosia.
yeah, we always had that too. But nobody makes these cranberry jello molds ever, it seems. My mom did try it a few years ago and it turned out pretty good, I have to say. She thought my mom's really good at, like, I think this is close enough to the recipe that grandma used. I remember the first time I made cookies with my grandmother, because, well, for a lot of years I made Christmas cookies with her. And I remember saying to her, "Oh my gosh, Grandma, your chocolate chip cookies are like so awesome. Um, how in the world do you make them?" And then I'm sitting there with her making these cookies, and I find out that her wonderful chocolate chip cookies are just the Nestle Toll House recipe on the back of the bag of chocolate chips.
I
And
think that's all of their
I
recipes.
know, right? And then you're like so disappointed because you thought it was like some grandma special cookie, and you just, but then you realize you make that same cookie off the same recipe and it's not the same. So obviously grandmas have some kind of touch that, make it better. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Okay. Now I have to learn. I learned how to make pumpkin pie with the click of a button. And now I'm going to learn how to make spice bread stuffing,
Ooh, yum.
right? Okay, so we're inching up on Christmas. Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Huh?
Do you have a favorite Christmas song?
Yes, what child is this?
Okay, so I have two different kinds of favorite songs, and I will explain. Um, one is, like you hear it on the radio kind of song, and the other one is traditional. So, what do you think my traditional favorite Christmas song is?
Oh, goodness. Silent Night?
No.
I can't think of the name of the song. It's got two different names, and I can't think of what they are.
Okay, we'll start humming some of it or something.
No.
Hmm.
Oh, come all you faithful.
No, but you're close. You're close. There's something in that title is in the song that I like.
It's the one I can't think of. I bet. Is it O Come Emmanuel?
Nope, but you're getting closer. You've got the
I
right.
got no clue then.
Oh, holy night.
My dad's was We Three Kings.
You know why I like "Oh Holy Night"? I mean, it's a great song. It's a great, great song. But I think one of the reasons why I like it the most is when we used to sing it in choir. Um, so I was always classified as a second soprano. And a lot of Christmas carols do not have three parts, they have two parts. So you have to be placed in soprano or non soprano. And so that song I always um, got placed um, with the altos. And I really didn't like it because I was better at singing high than low. And I think the reason why my teacher used to do it was to try to get me to learn how to sing lower. And I just I can sing the low notes now. I couldn't back then, but I don't know. I sang that song so many times and I just absolutely love that song. And it's a challenging song.
See, I
So,
like Silver Bells for that because you had all of the parts there. You had the tenors, the bass, the altos, sopranos. You had the high soprano. I loved that.
yeah, we didn't have that much in our choir. We just had three parts. And um then, I was in my mom. It's so funny because my mom was in the same things I was in high school. So she was also in the choir and there was also like the top-notch thing. For her, they called it the triple trio, right? So you had three sopranos, three second sopranos, and three altos. Um, they just called it show choir when I was there. But I ended up being thrown into that. So um, I had not intended on trying out for it, but made it without trying out for it. So it was kind of funny, but it was fun. I did end up enjoying it. I learned a whole lot of different things that I would have never tried. So it was all good. So my other song, the radio song, Christmas Shoes.
Oh goodness, the radio Christmas song. Yeah, I got
I
nothing on that one.
cannot sing that song without crying. I don't usually have a problem with that, but it's the one song I cannot sing like straight through without having any emotional like half breakdown on it.
Is that Hallelujah?
No, Christmas Shoes.
What is it? I can't hear you.
Christmas Shoes.
I don't even know what that one is.
The little boy's at the store and he's trying to
Oh.
buy his mom a pair of shoes because she's sick and she's dying and he ends up not having enough money. And so the song is, basically he's, asking for somebody to help him out and this guy behind him in the line ends up making up the difference in the money so he can get these shoes to take him to his mom.
Yeah, that's a sad one. It seems kind of appropriate for the holidays right now. For me, anyways.
Well, um I think it's one of those things that really makes you think and I think that that's a good thing, especially around the holidays when people tend to take things for granted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to this weekend put my Christmas songs back on my phone. What do I have to do? I have to get to 160. I'll have to buy some more ingredients. 5, 10, 15, 20, 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, I don't need that. I don't know why I bought it. Okay, my nose is really itching tonight, so I must be coming into some money. So be prepared.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I'm just joking, but I would be okay if that happened because I would really love to be streaming us sitting together at Disney World.
Cut out.
Well, I don't know why I'm cutting out.
I think I'm only listening through Discord.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I'm pushing the buttons so that you can hear me, but if it's having issues, I can't hear that because when I go streamer mode, none of the sounds um, work.
Yeah, you know how it gets sometimes. I just get those little
It cuts off the
cutouts
end.
in the middle.
It does. It seems to be doing it more and more to everybody, and I don't understand that. It used to only do it to YO, and now I think YO has spread. Whatever YO's disease with Discord was, I think he has spread it to the rest of us.
Well, that wasn't nice of him.
No, I know, and he's not even around to even yell at him about it.
Just wrong. Just
I
so
know.
wrong.
I wonder if he has his kids for Thanksgiving. I do not know. Or if he's
Oh, I
working.
bet he does.
I don't know. He doesn't get them too often, so.
Oh, that's not right. Kids need their daddies.
Well, they live a distance apart, so he has them all summer,
Oh,
but
that's got to be hard.
um, I would think it is hard, but I mean, at some point, I guess you would be used to coping with it, I would think. I don't know why I flew back in here to learn this recipe. I gotta go back out there and
Yeah, still
purchase.
can't be easy though.
No, I'm sure it's not. What am I buying? Cranberries. Well, that got really depressing. Thank you very much.
What?
Now, now we have to change the subject to something else.
Yeah, over. I'm over here looking at cousins.
Are you shopping for
I
new
thought I
cousins?
had it, but dang it, I didn't have it. I thought I had a split, and I
You want a split? Is that what you're looking for? A split? Is that like
yeah,
a
I'm trying
banana
to
split?
find where the two different. No, no, you got to find where the two lines split because you've got a grandmother and a grandfather. You've got to figure out which one's related to the grandmother's line, which one's related to the grandfather's. Well, I'm at second great grandparents, so now I'm trying to find four splits,
Nice.
and I think I might have it actually.
We have a winner. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm hoping. Don't say that yet. Hold on.
Well, I'm trying to encourage you to have a winner.
Yeah, well, DNA is DNA. It just doesn't change, unfortunately.
Okay, well, are you trying to bring me down? I mean, I'm not going to start calling you Debbie Downer, am
No,
I?
I'm tracing it. I'm just chasing a line. I'm in a rabbit hole where I'm looking around finding different splits off
Well,
down there and hoping it matches and goes where I think it's going, but I'm not positive it's going.
being in a rabbit hole would be right up the alley for your name, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I spend a lot of time in rabbit holes.
Speaking of animals, so we have problems here with squirrels, right?
Oh, we do too.
Yes, and squirrels chew their way into our attic.
Yep. Mhm.
Well,
Right in the holes in the
right.
overhangs if you.
So sometimes they go straight through the siding. Um, anyway, so we have had one, and my husband had put one trap up there, but ended up having to bring in another trap. So he trapped one the other day. And Lemon, he chases squirrels, and he should. He's, a beagle, but has not encountered any interaction with one. And so my husband thought he would, show him this dead squirrel, and he wasn't really too much interested in it. My my daughter's dog, however, was. So he was very happy with himself. So I come home today, right? Now
Uh huh.
I don't want to deal with, dead mice or dead squirrels or anything that we have to catch because, it's invading our space.
Did you
And
just say you have beagles though?
I do. I do. A-
And you don't want to deal with dead?
you know what? Here's the way that I deal with dead animals. See, I had a beagle that used to kill everything. Squirrels, rabbits, birds, anything that came in the yard, he killed. And he would wait till I got home from school and I would go outside and he would bring it and drop it at my feet. And the
Oh, so
extent
sweet.
and the extent of the encounter would be, I don't want that, go ahead. And he would take off and he would eat it. But he would wait, but he would wait to be able to show it to me and offer it to me before he would eat it. Um, so anyway, I come home today. Now they had told me they caught another squirrel. I assumed that I would not encounter it. No, when I get home, I take the dogs out to go to the bathroom, and guess what is laying in the front yard?
Oh, fun.
So it is still laying there, and my husband's going to get an earful when he gets home. So if he is lurking here and listening to me, just realize that I know what you did.
Run! Run!
Seriously, I don't know what I do to ask for this, but seriously, they like to torment me.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
Not really, because he knows I
No,
won't
it
touch it.
really is.
He absolutely knows I won't touch it.
I could just see him sitting there listening and snickering.
Oh, absolutely, he probably is. I don't know. He'll be really busy tonight, so I don't know. He might be listening every so often, but um, at least now I've made it clear. It's out there that I know what he did, and he's in trouble when he gets home.
Hey, at least he took care of it.
No, he didn't. It's laying dead in the front yard. That is not taking care of it because we also have owls around here, and I could just see me taking the dogs out there and the owl swooping down to get that damn squirrel at the same time and be in trouble.
Oh, but they're not living in your attic. So at
Oh,
least
I
he took
know.
care
I
of it.
know. You know what? He actually has put the trap over where they keep coming in. He's planning on just keep catching them until maybe the numbers are a little lower and they'll quit getting in our damn attic. It's expensive to fix that shit. It just really is. I'm about tired of it.
I am so tired of critters right now.
Why
It
is
got cold. Guess where the squirrels are?
Well,
In my attic.
the problem is it's getting cold, so of course the squirrels are looking for someplace warm to go. And my attic is very warm. Not as warm as
Mine
it'll
too.
get because my fireplace, my wood burning stove is not going yet, but it's definitely warm. And it's not windy like it is outside. I don't know what is with the wind the last 2 days, but I am done with that too. And I feel like it says we have 5 people watching, and I don't even know when this last comment was made, but it was Evie laughing at me because I said, "How could she have been watching a funny stream last night because I wasn't streaming?" And that was
Right?
quite a
Of
while
course.
ago. Guess they're just playing me in the background. Although my daughter has started offering to teach me how to play guitar on her acoustic. I might take her up on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because then I could play my own music for my videos. It's really funny because, last Christmas she got the electric guitar. So she's been playing at least a year and a half, I guess. Anyway, um, she got the electric guitar last year, and she's been playing that a lot. Everything new, pretty much, that she's been learning how to play, she's playing on the electric guitar. And I, she, for whatever reason, has quit practicing very much when I'm home. So she does it all when I'm at work. Last night she comes walking in here. She's got her acoustic guitar around her neck and she's just strumming away and starts playing for me. And I was like, oh, thank you, because I love listening to her play.
What she want?
Do what?
If my kid does something I like, I know she wants something. I just had to ask.
No, that's when she goes, Mom, I love you. You're the best. That's when I know something's coming.
Yeah.
She's very predictable. And for when she says that to me now, I just go, no. She's like,
It never
what?
changes.
She's like, what? I said, no, whatever it is, because that's the only time you try to act all like, that little girl that used to come up to me like, Mommy, I love you, and actually mean it,
Totally.
right? And not go, Mommy, I love you. Can I have $50 to buy a new pair of skates?
Oh, I did. Oh, no. When mine was a little bit older than her, mine was 16. She comes to me one day and she says, "Mom, we're going to the mall. I need $100." I said, "Excuse me? Didn't we just give you 20 to go to the mall the other day?" She says, "Yeah, but I'm going shopping for makeup." I said, $100, huh? You want $100?
For makeup at
And
that.
she says, "Yeah." I said, "Okay." I says, "I tell you what. Here's the classifieds. You find a job. Your allowance is cut off. You now can go find a job and get some work because you do not appreciate the value of a dollar. So you go get a job." She had a job within 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we cut Starbucks and everything off.
Oh, I know what I didn't pull out. I didn't pull out my little cooking kettle pet. That's what I need to do too. Dang, you're not letting me slack here.
Your what?
Remember I told you about the little pet that the pandas, when they're cooking, they pop out more often? You can only get, well, I mean, you can buy it because people sell it on the auction house, but I've only, what's it called? I'm trying to think.
Well, now I need to see this.
Hmm. It's called, that's not it. That's not it. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Gosh. Man, I can't remember what the name of it is now. I'm gonna have to look. See what kind of black hole you dunked me into?
I told you I was in a rabbit hole.
Yeah, well, you've gotten me into one too.
Yeah, now I want to see this little pet kettle, a teapot. What?
No, it's like a cook stove. Maybe that's what I should search for.
Is it a pet or a toy?
It's a pet.
Does it cook for you?
Not exactly, but I can't talk on Discord and search for this.
Well, you go ahead and search. I'm good.
Uh, well, at least I can't. Oh, shit. I can't do it when I'm trying to. Where in the? I need to look it up. I gotta find out what the name of this is. Um, Cooking Wow Pet. Oh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Okay, his name is Pierre. Duh. Why in the world did I forget that? Look at him. Look at him. Let me zoom in. Uh, do you see? Do you see that little cook stove?
Not yet. Oh, that's cute. A little pot-belly stove.
Right. Right. And you can cook. I think he actually. Where'd he go? Okay. I think. I think he actually does some animation when he's cooking too. If I remember correctly. Let me see. He just flipped a pancake. You see that? Look at that. He's awesome. I really like him.
He's kind of cute.
I love him. He's cute. He's not the one that pops out from cooking though. I think somebody makes him. Let me look.
Well, I have both the engineering specs, so if I can get him, I'll get him.
Um, yes,
Pierre?
it's
Oh, wait.
engineering. It
Oh,
is
I need to log
engineering.
in. I think I have it.
Yes, engineering. You need living
I just got
steel.
that pattern the other day.
That disgusting ooze, not disgusting ooze. That little leftovers, that little ugly blob of goo, that was what comes from uh, cooking. But he used to be worth pretty good amount of chunk of change on the auction house, but I haven't checked the price of him lately.
just realized why I'm so
Look what he's
tired. My
cooking
husband
now.
bought me a
Oh, he
winter
was
blanket
cooking.
today.
He was cooking. He was cooking my offhand. Did you see that? That was really funny.
You know we have a delay, right?
Yeah, I know. But now you'll be able to see it. Oh, he's flipping another pancake too. He's like a little trickster.
It looked like he was trying to cook your other pet.
That's not a pet. That is. So this character has equipped the legendary weapon, and that is the offhand that goes with the weapon, and and it talks to you, and it but it talks to you and only you. Nobody else can hear what he's saying. It's kind of funny. It used to freak me out the first time I saw it happen because not all of the artifact weapons do that, but this one does.
That's cute.
Yeah, well, gotta have some fun some way, I suppose. I need 3 more cooking points. Let's get it. Let's get it. There it is. They've got like, oh, do you know what happens with the turkey pet when you have the fire out? Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, let me show you what happens.
Does the turkey cook itself?
Well, actually, what happened? Oh, the fire is gone. I'm gonna have to pull out my fire. Hmm.
Is that turkey standing in the pan?
No, the turkey is standing next to the pan. It looks like my artifact offhand is in the pan. Is it the turkeys that do that? Is it the chickens? I can't remember. Maybe it's the chickens. Or maybe these new fires don't cause it to do it. I don't know. I swear it was the turkeys, but maybe it's the chicken. Well, he's on the pan now. Maybe it's the chicken. Let's see if it's the chicken. Shoot. I swear it was the turkey. Did they get rid of that? Uh, and if that's the case, I am very unhappy. That was like one of the funniest things about the turkeys. I bet it doesn't do it because they changed the fires. That is not fair. But yes, it used to turn itself. Yes, it used to jump in. It used to say it sensed its doom and it would jump into the fire. And you know how when you kill the turkeys and you go to loot them, they look like a little cooked turkey.
Yeah.
That's what they would look
And
like
then
in the
it would.
fire.
Oh, I do remember that. It would run around behind you as that little burnt chicken.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the turkeys.
Right? So what happened? They changed the way the fire looks and now the turkeys don't jump into it anymore? That is not
They're
right.
taking that code out.
I am not happy, Blizzard. I am not happy. They did that forever and a day and now they're not doing it anymore? I swear they did it last year.
Ooh, 23andMe updated my ancestry composition. I'm less Scandinavian and more French and German now.
Well, I hope that's good. Well, I think I'm going to end the live stream. So, everybody,
All
thank
right.
you for coming.
Well, congratulations on 100.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And please hit the likes on your way out. And if you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this and hit the bell. And if you know anybody who is interested in this kind of content, please share out the channel. I will catch you all later. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you later.